exercising. Come on for the walk. Come on for the walk. Or get your mats if you're doing yoga. I'm saying yoga. Yoga. Line up and you walking wall to wall. Grab your weights if you're going to do some weights exercises. Half hour, y'all. Get a chair if you're going to do chair exercises. Jump on your bikes and start your treadmill. And let's get through this half hour that runs out. I forgot, that's what I loved about working in the evening. That evening workout was quick. Woof. Just like this one. Hey, y'all, hey. Like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend, subscribe. Y'all know I'm Vicki, right? Because we're walking into our 4th year. So I think y'all do know who I am. It reminds me of this time my cousin and I in South Carolina. My grandmother used to make, like on Sundays, we'd have the meat dish, and it was like a ground meat, you know. It wasn't chicken or anything like that, but it was so good. And of course, you know, she had the rice and the greens and stuff. Of course, we did most of the cooking. She did most of the hollering. But we'll say she made it. But no, she did make that meat. So, me and Jody, we were sitting there. We was eating. It was so good. And I told Jody, I said, you know, Jody, I said, I don't think this is beef. So Jody ate a little bit. She said, no, it is. So, we got some more. Said this, I was quite large then. And me and Jody was eating it. And I said, I don't think it's beef, Jody. I said, but this is our second dish because we had to ask if we have more. I said, so we couldn't go back and say, baby, what was this we were eating? Because she said what you're asking for now. If it was poison, you'd have been dead. That's how she responds to stuff. What you're asking for now. If it was poison, you'd have been dead. So we didn't go and ask her. But we kept eating it. It just didn't sit right with me. What meat is this? So I throw myself on the sword. And I go and I said, Grammy, what was that? And she said, you done had 2 plates and you just asked now? If it was poison, you'd have been dead. And then she said, venison. I said, venison? Teenager back then with my cousin. She said, yeah, venison. I said, oh, don't ask her too many questions. She sent me to the store for bones when I first left New York and got to South Carolina. And it wasn't for me crying to my Aunt Minnie, what is bones? Smoked neck bones. Anyway, so I go back to my cousin Joni. And I say, Joni, I said, I knew it wasn't beef. We was eating venison. Joni said, venison? I said, yeah, Joni. We was eating venison, but I don't know what venison is. So I'm sitting there thinking. And then it dawns on me that my grandmother doesn't pronounce her V's. Even her name, she calls herself Victoria. So I said, oh. I said, Joni, we're eating venison. That's deer. We just fell out laughing. Okay, I think I had a point to that story. Anyway, thanks for coming on the walk. Yes, y'all. I sleep better now at night. When I sleep after this walk, I won't be playing. It's only about 4 hours, but it's damn good 4 hours. Oh, I want to stop using cold terms. It's hot diggity dog. Hey, ain't the Cardo, the poor poop or somebody just came out and said that blamed everything on Eve, the mother of humanity, and the apple and the snake is a fallacy. I'm like, didn't we just talk about that last year? I told you that was all in place to discredit the mothers so they can get hold of the children. And also, in our case, domestic violence, honey. And you know, this goes into my title. If they don't like you, they don't like you, move on. They always, what was I looking at? I was on YouTube and a flash of YouTube came through. They always talking in comparison. Well, black women have more homicidal deaths in comparison to the unicorn women, which we know are European Africans. That's the I ain't got no black in me bullshit. But let's do the math. It's supposed to be 360 million of them. How the hell are you even throwing us in the fucking equation? Keep us out of your equation. Don't talk in comparison to our numbers. Talk about comparison to your fucking numbers. So we can see how many millions and millions of your women are being killed from domestic violence. You're so far off the chain, you European African men and women. Y'all so far off the chain that there's nothing to compare it to. Keep us African Americans out your fucking numbers. It's just another way of you saying, we ain't black. I heard that, I was like, in comparison, okay, say it's 10 African American women, and as they say here, way more. So, let's say 1,000 European African American women. And 4 African American women are unlifed through domestic violence. So in comparison, yeah, that'd be a lot. Now, you got the 1,000 women. Their comparison would have to be 100. Do your own math. You get what I'm saying? How the hell can we be in worse shape than y'all? Some telling me 200. Not more. Stop comparing me. Turn off the news, y'all. That's the bullshit. Well, our women, our European African women, oh, that don't have no African immigrants, they, in comparison to, don't fucking compare, tell us your number. Tell us your number. I don't hear y'all saying, well, in comparison to school shootings, African Americans don't have that many. I don't never hear that shit. Let's do some comparisons there. In comparison to African Americans, European Africans have house loads of dynamite and guns and grenades. Do that fucking comparison. Well, then that leave us out of it. All my life I heard, well, everybody's dying. Everybody's dying. But in comparison to the number, leave us out your name, out your mouth. Don't comparison us. Take that news shit and stick it somewhere. Because in your comparison, we always going to wind up looking worse. Because you got to say, ain't no African in me. You see how our numbers ain't affected? And y'all slaughtering y'all women like they chicken. Anywho, somebody vibed in. My grandmother said that I had this girlfriend. And I guess I liked her more than she liked me. And eventually it's high school stuff. Eventually she turned on me. And I was devastated. Because Audrey was gone. Like, Audrey was like my best friend. It was just like me and her. We didn't even have no other friends. And I couldn't understand it. And I remember my grandmother sitting me down and she said, she also called me Vicki. She called my cousin Ricky, Vicki too. And one time, we were both there, and my grandmother said, Vicki. And I came because my cousin said he learned just not to respond. And I came and she said, not Vicki, I meant Vicki. So I just walk away. I figured she did not meet him. So she sat down and she said, if somebody don't like you, they don't like you. She said it don't matter what you do, what you say. This is where she was our African grandmother. Other than that, she was the cult leader, deaconess. Said they don't like you, they don't like you. Move on. Now at that time, I think she was also telling me for my cousins. Because, I mean, how much? The fighting, the incest, it was just too much. So she didn't mind when I was going out the house. I was at choir rehearsal, I was volunteering, or I was working. And if I was out, I was just walking around by myself. So, this came up to me in our dealing with these European Africans. No one looks from enslavement times about the European Africans who were also enslaved. They look like the people who were enslaving them, but since the people that had them enslaved knew that their mother, what is it, mitochondrial? They had African mitochondrial DNA. I mean, they had it before coming from Europe and anyway. And when they were free, where did they go? What happened to them? It was millions of them. Millions. Just like it was millions of Africans, it was millions of them. The story is told that they was trying to increase the population, you know, and instead of shipping in the Africans from Africa, they just made their own kids and enslaved them. What of those children? You ever ask yourself that? Look in the Congress. Look at the Senate. Look anywhere where they is stomping black Africans. That's where they at. That's where they at. Because they had to spend all their life running around saying, ain't no African in me. Y'all never thought of them, did you? You never thought about them. Who, y'all? How fast is this walk? It's faster than in the morning. In the morning? But this thing is like halfway through already. I love your body. Give it a little exercise. Little exercise. I'm walking, y'all. Trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking now. Trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah! Let's knock this out. What happened to them? They married others like them. They all call themselves white. I think that weight did do something to my, when it fell. But you're going to have to get through it. Sorry about that. I couldn't get nobody to fix it. I guess this is what's called a throwaway treadmill. That, you know, like, when it goes bad, you just get another one. I tried. So I'm just hoping it don't buck me. I go far. Yeah. What about them, y'all? You ever thought about them? Do you think after Emancipation Proclamation they was walking around saying, I'm a free slave, I'm a free slave, I'm a free African? No. No, they didn't. They said, I'm unicorn, I'm unicorn, I'm unicorn. And anyone who says I'm not, I will unlife an African because ain't no African in me. So do you see why he ain't getting no reparation? That's who's in the government throughout. They went all over just like we went over. But they went all over saying, ain't no African in us. And if anybody says it is, I'm going to drag them out the car and put a bullet to their head. Because ain't no African in us. We unicorns. Now didn't the Popey thing just tell y'all that Adam and Eve is a fallacy? So is y'all being a unicorn. Oh, ancestors, please. Saying they're white. Saying they're white. White and unicorn is the same thing because they're both imaginary beings for all Africans. That's who don't like you. That's who will make so many other people suffer just to make sure that the African Americans don't get nothing. They've been trained like that. Y'all got it all wrong. They've been trained. You ain't got no African in you. If you stand next to an African, you gonna turn brown. Not you gonna turn brown because you got African in you. Straight from the plantation. But they don't want to do that. They rather just don't like you. Because they don't like the African inside of them. So don't look for nothing from them. See them for who they are and call them who they are. They're European Africans. Came over from Europe as European Africans. Got here with the African Americans or the black Africans and continue to make kids. Continue to make European Africans. Enslave some, set some free. But all those mixed race kids know not to accept the African as your lead race because you will be enslaved. So how do you show people that you have no African in you? You abuse the African. You hang them. You make sure that no elderly people get anything extra if the African American, black African is going to receive it. Why? Because you're proving there ain't no African in you. Use a unicorn. They don't like it. They don't like it. These European Africans, they don't like you African American. They're not going to do anything to ever help you or anything. Now let's talk about the European Africans direct from Europe. You know that part where it says in the Constitution, freedom of religion? Another bullshit thing. That was a way of saying freedom of mixed race European. Freedom where ain't nobody going to chase you down. Because nobody chased them down on this penal colony. They were enlisted to chase us down. See the difference? In Europe, they were being chased down, called gypsies, called all kind of crap. And this penal colony incorporation said freedom of religion, which meant all mixed races. All mixed European races. Ergo, European Africans. So they came over with the idea, ain't no African in us, so how do you show ain't no African in you? You come over here, you don't hire them. The other one took the black Africans, African Americans, land and stuff like that. So when you come from Europe, and you're a European African, and you have the freedom to buy the land and stuff, you buy the land. And since it's the only land that African Americans can have for shelter, gotta pay for it. But at least this is how the European Africans are thinking, the ones that came over on the boat. But they're thinking, at least ain't nobody hunting me down because they don't see I'm African on this penal colony. They think I'm a unicorn. And as long as I make these black Africans suffer, don't give them shit, do unnecessary surgery on them, poison them, poison their water, poison their land, then I'm a unicorn. Because unicorns' lands aren't poisoned. We're not poisoning our land, we're poisoning theirs. A little stretch. So they don't like it. It ain't nothing you can do. But use your energy for yourself. Stop trying to convince them, to win them over. Include them. They don't like none of that shit. They are European Africans. But they don't accept that. So anything to do with us, all the laws we done, what they say now in school, African Americans fell out of a tree. Africans were the last people to, we always the last people something, to that's what keeps them feeling like unicorns. Look how important it was for them to tell that big old lie that they landed on the moon. But it's easy when you're European African. You're lying all the time. You're denying the African inside you. You're lying. Because if you knew your history, you'd be more respectful. You wouldn't make everybody suffer. But listen, I understand it. I understand it. Yes, I do. They had to hide. They had to hide. They had to hide anything about Africanism. They couldn't eat watermelon. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, in the privacy of their home, they eat watermelon, but they put it out in society that only black people eat watermelon. So they used to have their commercial with the black faced person with the big rolly eyes. They chewed, eat them. And that's what makes us different. We are unicorns. We don't eat watermelon. Everybody eats watermelon. Eating watermelon don't make you any kind of race. But that's the mentality of these European Africans that you African Americans need to really see, dismiss, and move on. Spending way too much time on them, way too much energy. Use our energy for us. And I'm going to tell y'all how we're going to do Black History Month. And this is the way you're supposed to do the months, the weeks, the days that's designated to Black history. Then I'm going to show y'all how we're going to tap into our ancestors. And you calling them European Africans, let the ancestors know energy exactly where to go. Who are these vile villains that just continuously just won't stop? But I use it for whatever I'm trying to go for. If you're going for a house, if you're going to go for a car, if you're going to start that business, if you're going to make time to be with your children, if you want to bake a cake, you want to start a bakery, you want to start a group, you want to do a podcast, whatever you want to do, use that energy of all of us. And the ancestors is where we all meet up. Y'all have been using it for the right thing. I'm going to show y'all. That's why anything that's really hard or I think is not going to go through, I do it during Black History Month. I know the energy of the ancestor is alive and moving around. I'm like, ooh, come over here. I need to do that. Who do you think kept me in Nevada? I was by myself in a 3-room house, but not alone. So I'm going to tell y'all how to do that. But you got to start calling them what they are. If they like soul music, we says that, how white people, no, they're not. They're European Africans. They like soul music. They got soul music. And they say, just telling the story, ancestors. Oh, white people don't have a beat. Yes, they do. They're not allowed to. Because back then, if they did, then that means you are black. So, no black music. None of that stuff. Look at the churches. That Mormon thing. They still think that Joseph Smith made up their religion. They don't know just saying the word Jesus Christ, even in Latter-day Saints, means Africa. Means y'all Africans. Yeah, I was going to tell y'all that. Yes, Vicki, you talk about European Americans. How can you see them? You see them go on Sunday. Go through any of these places where they have these cults and stuff because they're all African cults. So if they're embracing them, it's that African part inside of them. But they don't know that. They think Joseph Smith made Jesus. Oh no, Joseph Smith is Jesus. No, Joseph Smith is God. No, what's the name? Martin Luther. He's God. He's not God. He's a man, and then the God. And it's all so technical. Y'all pull on your ancestors' energy. I love my daughter before she got here, while she was here, and even after my Madden energy separates. So when she call on me, I'm coming. If I'm down here right now, I can tell by her call, well, I'm going to stand here and walk on this treadmill, or I'm going to take my ass. Y'all look, there'd be a blank slip. Woof, just by the call. So when you mean to tell me when I'm energy, even though we over in Ghana, we will still answer the call. So you need to start focusing on the ones that do love you, the ancestors that do love you, and not these ones that don't. These European Africans. I'm not saying all, y'all know which one it is. Blood, no blood. Blood, no blood. Not only the gangs use that, that's a fact, that's a reality. Blood, no blood, you know. Let me get my thing here. Oh. My weight. So, and even for this human experience, they don't like it, leave it alone. Maybe it's just me. I love me so much. Don't you see me here? Don't you see me here? Don't you see me moving? So love yourself first. And all that other stuff, it'll come to you. The universe and the ancestors will make sure you get it. All right. Whew, squeezing your gut. Tucking your elbow. I wish I could go like that, but you see the walls there? Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 for good luck. Yeah, y'all. Leave it alone. Focus on yourself. Stop taking y'all happy asses down there to the hospital gurney. Finally, I stopped listening to the news on the radio. so happy. Whew, starting in December, all I heard was all that Coke music, Hartford Healthcare, disease research, how the heart attacking you. I said, no, I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. And I haven't listened to the radio since. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 for good luck. Yeah, if they don't like you, they don't like you. That's okay. Move on. That means you got more liking for yourself. I don't mess up in people's business. You know why? Because that means I got more attention for my own business. Like, comment, share. Tell her uncle, tell her auntie, tell her cousin, tell her friend. Y'all hit the bell if y'all want to know when I come up. Because I've changed times. But thanks for working out with me. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.